All right, we're going to go ahead and get into our Coors Light post-qualifying for the race here on Sunday, the final race in the eliminator round of the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. And qualifying second for Sunday's race, Brad Keselowski. He drives the number 2 Miller Lite Ford for Penske Racing. And Brad certainly made up a lot of ground last week. You had a great qualifying effort here late this afternoon, and you got to feel good now about how you're positioning yourself for Sunday's race.
Yeah, sorry, I still got a lot of adrenaline from qualifying. This is a really intense qualifying format, and with the sun going down, this track picks up a lot of speed, and it's there. You're out there, and you're holding on to it. So still got a little adrenaline going there, but just missed it, I guess, by a couple of thousandths of a second. So kind of running through my mind where that was, you know, one day at a time. And right now I wanted to be on the pole. We were close, but just a little bit off. But either way, like you said, it's a good start, Kerry. We like that, and we got to make the most of it come Sunday. Been very encouraged. We had great speed here in the spring. And it seems like we maybe found a little bit more. So I'm very, very optimistic about tomorrow. We know there's going to be some other drivers that are really good here. Obviously 11 on the pole. 4 cars really ran well here. I should say Kevin's really ran well here for the last, probably 5 or 6 races. He'll be one of the guys to beat. And, so it should be a great battle come Sunday. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see how it plays out.
Thank you, Brad. We'll take questions. I think Jeff Gluck had one, if we could get him a wireless mic. Thank you. And then we'll go to Alan.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. Brad, I'm sure you've been following what everybody's been saying this week, but it seems like the main beef with you, I guess, so to speak, is that people feel like you don't listen to them after the race or whatever, that you turn your back when people want to talk. Do you think there's any validity to that? Do you understand why people say that?
Well, to answer your first thing, I haven't honestly paid that much attention this week. I knew that early on in the weekend it was going to be, or early on in the week, I should say after the weekend, it was going to be one of those weeks, and I kind of put my head down and focused on Phoenix and my Madden team. So to kind of get me through. And so I honestly haven't spent a lot of time with all that stuff and the rhetoric. At the end of the day, I think we all have our own biases. And, it's not fair for me to really, I shouldn't say it's not fair, but I don't think it's really productive for me to get into the he said, she said, because at the end of the day, we disagree. That kind of is what it is. And, I think the more I dig into becoming what someone else wants me to be, the less I become or stay who I am. And who I am is someone who can win races and be a championship threat year over year with a great team that supports me, a great cast of family and friends. So, I'm not looking to become what everyone else wants me to become. And so I have not spent a lot of time on that rhetoric, and I really don't wish to spend a lot of time trying to justify anything I do or don't do. I feel pretty good about the actions I've taken. Certainly I'm not perfect. I've made some bad ones, but I didn't make any last week, and I still feel that way.
Go to Alan. Alan's got a question, then we'll go to Lewis, and then to Bob, and then Stan. Go ahead.
Alan, NASCAR.com. Apologies, you just kind of answered it. I mean, you do a lot of thinking. Do you think about yourself and your actions, and if you would have done anything differently in terms of when Jeff Gordon came up to talk to you?
You always think about that stuff, but, I've thought about it and moved on and feel good about it.
Let's go to Lewis and then to Bob.
Louis Frank of Reuters. Brad, once upon a time, Roger Penske had an aggressive, brash driver named Paul Tracy, and he said about him, I'd rather worry about slowing him down than speeding him up. And this week, Roger made a statement, supporting your actions. What have you spoken to Roger? And if you did, what have you said to each other?
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time talking this week. We talk a lot anyway, so I should probably preface that point by saying that we have a really active dialogue, which is one of the reasons why I love driving for him, and I'm proud to do so. But beyond that, yeah, we've addressed this situation as we would any situation. And, I can say, and it means a lot to me, that he's been extremely supportive, probably more so than you guys will ever know. And I feel very confident about my position in this sport and with my team at Team Penske accordingly.
Let's go back in the back. Bob Pockris.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. NASCAR suspended 3 crewmen for 6 weeks for hitting you. Do you feel like that is an appropriate penalty for a crewman punching a driver?
I didn't really think that much about it. They took an action. Again, I go back to I have my own set of biases on that, obviously. I don't envy their job, that being NASCAR at any given time. I'm glad I'm a competitor, not an official. Because I think no matter what decision they would have made, there'd be someone saying it was the wrong one. But I'm not sitting here, clapping for joy or angry in either way on that direction. I don't take any pleasure in someone else's pain. It kind of is what it is there as well. I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I hate to use that cliche, but, I can't spend all my time worrying about the other people. I have to worry about winning this weekend, this race, and this championship. And that's where my focus is and will continue to be. And I think really a lot of these conversations, a lot of these talking points are meant to serve as a distraction. So to sit here and really comment on a lot of them would really be to justify them because I know the things that I'm doing are the right things.
Go to Jerry, then Stan, then Reed. Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Kicking the Tires. You qualified second. Kevin's behind you, or one off a little. Do you have any concerns about racing here this weekend and anything happening between the two of y'all?
I have a concern that I know I probably need to win the race. That's my concern. And I want to have the most speed I can have. I want to have the best execution, whether that's restarts, pit road. Those are my concerns. Beyond that, I haven't put any thought into it. My answer to all that other junk is, I plan on being in the sport for a long time, and whatever happens there, I'll get through it like I have this past week, and if something was to happen, which is doubtful, so I don't feel too bad about that.
Stan, and then I think Reed had a question.
Yeah, Brad, Stan Creekmore with Competition Plus. How much work will you have to do tomorrow to ensure that the great run you had today converts
you mean
into
Sunday?
Yeah. Well, you're going to practice tomorrow.
Okay.
So how close do you really think you are to having a real opportunity to get that victory?
I think, Stan, Kevin's probably got a 10th on us. We're probably right now a second to third place car, and Kevin's probably got a 10th on everyone. Based off the spring read and today's practice read. So, a 10th isn't super close, but it's not too far away where we can't reach it. And if we could find that, I'd feel really confident.
Let's go up here to Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Brad, you already said you feel like you have to win this race. How analogous is this to the situation at Talladega, a track where you've won twice, and this one where you haven't won?
Yeah, I definitely had to win Talladega too. And technically I don't have to win this race. Really, just the probabilities are that I do. I think it'll be very hard to pass 3 cars in points. And I'm within 5, I think, on all 3, but that means you have to beat, if you didn't win, you'd have to beat at least 3 cars by 5 spots on the track. And these are good guys. These are good drivers, good teams. There's a reason why they're this far in the chase. And to beat all 3 of those by 5 spots is, that's that's a tough challenge. It's a tough task for anyone to really feel good about. But, if you win, you're in. And that's the great thing about this system. And we have a great shot at it, for sure. We have to keep pushing and keep working on it, though.
Any additional questions for Brad? Brad, congratulations on a nice run today, and certainly all the luck to you on Sunday.
Thank you, guys.